Alright, so today I kind of want to do something a little bit different. We are going to be making highlights. I'm going to go video to video, but first topic we're going to go over is Onmyoji. This is a game that I've been playing for a little while, just kind of passively. I don't really play too much. I do dailies and stuff like that, and I do stay active with it, but I don't I haven't played it for very long consistently. More like I play for a little while, stop playing, that kind of thing. But what I did notice whenever I do play is that there is very little guides to this whole game. And so what I wanted to do is kind of give people like an easy go-to for just like general thoughts on the game and like how to get into it slash like kind of break down some of the more complicated things. 'Cause I think a lot of times when you look up guides, you're gonna find that there are like very few guides. There's like one or two channels that are really good at explaining it, but they're really in depth. And I think a lot of times we're just looking for like a superficial like, hey, this is what you do, not necessarily here's the perfect way to do it, right? So I wanted to make an easy access guide for Onmyoji. Keep in mind this is going to be a little bit laggy because it's a phone link, so it's like a little bit slow. um, but what I wanted to show is just basically the process of playing Onmyoji and like what you'd be looking for doing daily, right? Granted, your background might look different. You can get different backgrounds, so a couple little things you can change the skins and stuff like that. Amulets is really good about events. You can change all the scenes, see how they look. You can change the yard mode, how it looks. If it's like a wide open area, if it's the actual yard. You can change little things like the characters actually chilling out here, the skins they're wearing, that kind of stuff. So that's just little things. But in terms of overall progression, I think the one thing that people really want to take advantage of is number one, looking up a guide. There's a guide I'll probably put in the description below that is essentially it's called Nura's guide, I believe, and it's a spreadsheet of all the best Onmyojis like Shikigami, and it shows like all of their best builds for PVE, PvP, and it shows you exactly what they're used for. It tells you like their tier ranking, like how good or bad they are in anything in the game. Um, so as you can see, I have a pretty big roster at this point, but it's just because I played for a long time. You get a lot of free stuff. You get a lot of free summons. But your main goal is to be finding some of those higher tier characters. And actually, I can just pull up that Onmyoji guide just to show you. So it's not so confusing. Let me turn off the Spotify as well. And this will be done on stream, so if people come in, I'll be saying hi and all that kind of stuff, so just keep that in mind. Alright, right here. So, one thing you want to probably get familiar with is this guide. And the cool thing about it is it kind of separates it based off of a bunch of different statistics and all that kind of stuff. And I'll actually swap over to this one right here. Yeah. So we'll put the yeah. So either way, when you're going through this, one thing that you want to consider is that like it shows you the tier list, which is probably the most important thing on here. But the cool thing is you can actually just do Control F to look for the characters that you got, right? So if or if you're in your phone, you can't do that. Obviously, you can do it through the search bar or whatever. But you can type in like Void Menreki, and it'll come up with Void Menreki, right? So it'll show you exactly who you're looking for, and give you an easy access to what that character is good at. So just for an overview, when you look at like Duel, right? She's SS at Duel, so it means she's one of the best. You want to get her. She's actually my puller right now, and puller is essentially what this is going to be. It's a move bar Shikigami. Up here are the categories of what they actually are meant for and what they do. Move bars are going to obviously keep your it's honestly the most important Shikigami you're going to have in your lineup. The faster you can get, speed is something you're going to be worried about initially. But yeah, essentially use this as a guide to more or less kind of figure out what you're going for and like if you pulled something good, because you're just going to be pulling things at the beginning, and whatever you get is whatever you're going to use. Play whatever you think is cool. Play the characters that you like the most. It doesn't really matter until you get into duels or like high end stuff that's like then you really want to min max, I guess. If you get that far into it, you'll kind of understand. But just as a superficial, just come here, check what they're good at, what how good the champ is, because a lot of times when you pull a character, you don't know how good they are, what they do, or how to use them. And the main thing here is say you have like say you pull Void Menreki, you look over here, and she is a SP unit, right? So you can come down on the bottom of the graph, and you can go down to the SP units, and then you look up, again, just control. It's a lot faster that way. So you do this, and essentially you find out that she needs to have, say if you're going to use her for a puller or like a speed, then you want her to have the broken set or the FC. So you would essentially be going for maximum speed. The main thing with her is you want speed. That's like the biggest deal. Generally speaking, though, you can also use her for DPS. So again, you'd be going for a different set. These are sets. These are different ones you'll figure out eventually are different sets, like Wisposa, Shinryuko, or Shinkiru, whatever. You'll basically find these sets. They're in the game. They're the Soul Jades. I'll kind of show you them. And they have set effects, and that's why they're generally listing them out. But it'll tell you what to mainly go for. So you want to mainly go for speed on this character. Speed, HP, and then anything. So speed and HP are your main stats you're looking for. You need to max skill 2 and 3. So they have 3 skills every champ. Some of them are passive, some of them are not. You need to make sure you're maxing these for maximum efficiency for what this is used for. Again, this is min-maxing. Not too big of a deal. So either way, this is just your list of like, hey, good or not good, right? It also tells you how fast they're updating things, so you can tell when they're making updates. So see if it's current or not, because duels and stuff like that, it'll be big changes. Either way, so when you get in here, you find a bunch of characters. Onmyoji has a lot of cool characters. You can come over to details. You can look up things about them, right? So this character I don't really have built up yet, but you can actually level up their abilities, and it shows you exactly what leveling that ability does. Now, generally it gets pretty complicated as you kind of go through this. So as you level up the ability, they do different things, and they add in things. That's why it's telling you to max certain stats, because some characters you need to have them maxed so that they're actually good. So for instance, like Amaterasu, like if you don't have her skills maxed, she does way less damage. So I'm working on maxing her, but currently, like say if you get her all the way up to this, it goes all the way from 79% to 100% extra damage. So huge differences in duels, PvE, all that kind of stuff. This one actually changes. Like a huge thing is when she kills somebody, she actually goes 50% ahead in the move bar. So basically, she can constantly kill and then re-hit the re-attack. Constantly kill, re-attack kind of stuff. So either way, more or less in the beginning, you're just gonna find characters you like. You're gonna probably pull 1 or 2 SSRs. SPs are pretty rare, but they have a lot of events going on, and that's kind of what you want to go for. Is just kind of pulling any of these. Any SSRs are always pretty decent. Some of them are better at things than others. Whatever. Some of the skins you can get, if you ever want to look at skins, another thing that kind of confused me in the beginning is you come to Evolution, and it's the little drawer here, right? And you just do that, and you can get different skins and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically it. You're going to pull characters based off of what you get. Whatever you get lucky with initially. I wouldn't really waste money on anything but the battle passes initially. So speaking of, when you run on Onmyoji, when you start off, there's always going to be tons of events. One thing that took me a while to figure out, you come to this little toad or this little statue. There's going to be a statue. It's going to be like a little guy on the main one. It'll look like these guys. And here's all your events. So you can kind of click on all these and figure out what's going on. It'll show you what's going on. It'll take you to the event. And you kind of want to use that as your like guide to what you should be working on. Now, this one right here, I'll press treasure loft. It's just an event going on currently. Currently, I'm done it for the most part. I maxed out my limit almost. I ran out of bread, which is the currency to run this. But when you do run this, you get a bunch of different rewards. Events are your best friend. If you can run events, you are going to make a ton of gains. Like, it is probably the most important thing to take advantage of these events whenever they come around, because they always have these crazy little shops. And so as you can see from doing one day total, so I'll go back here. As I've done 1 day of this, I've got 310k. So I can get basically everything in this tab. Now when I unlock this one, I need to hit basically 1 mil. You can unlock different things like banners. You can get different illustrations. It's taking a little while on. There we go. You can get different illustrations. All these kind of things are available to you when you actually play through the events, and you use currency that's not like your normal currency. So you get free stuff basically. You got to play the event, but it's free basically. Also, the main thing for new players is right here. You can get a literal guaranteed SSR or SP summon. So that's pretty big. Another little tip right off the bat is you really want to be like taking these things very seriously. You want to be getting skill Daruma whenever you can. Whenever you see these shards, whenever you see these are the main bottleneck to building your characters. You don't want to waste them on characters that you're not going to play for very long. So that is where that looking up that guide would be very useful, because even if you don't want to min max, you really can change how good a character is based off of using these or not using these, because it unlocks those levels in those skills. So again, mystery amulets are going to be really important in the beginning of starting the game. Your jade is going to be important, so you can get all these from the events. Main thing being, get your events. The G6 exchange amulet essentially allows you to say, if you build up a character fully and you decide you don't want to play them anymore, you can actually transfer all the XP from that character to the one that you want to. It does basically drop the other one down, so you exchange places basically, XP wise. It does not change skill level as far as I know, so don't make that mistake. But you can exchange your characters if you find one that's better. Say like you find one that you have a DPS that's like your main DPS, and you have all the best setup you want, but your DPS you find a better one that just isn't leveled, you can exchange it out. Although I wouldn't necessarily do that. I would try to level them up manually, because you're going to need teams for different things, and a lot of champs are like Shikigami are really good for different things, so not really worth a lot of times, but worst case scenario if you want to. So main thing, events, always do them. Super important. Big thing. When you do, this is something that's going to be pretty irrelevant. When you're a returner, if you ever leave the game and come back, you actually get a lot of rewards. So even if you create an account, you start it up, and then you kind of play. It's one of those things. Yeah, so either way, you come back and play. It's good to start an account, even if you quit, because you can always get these Returnee rewards. So it's kind of a way to do things. One thing you can also do is basically you can do boss rewards or boss hunts, and you get a ton of rewards. Again, skill Daruma shards are really important. You get the white Daruma. They're really important for upgrading, all that kind of stuff. And you get these little specialized boss soul jades. So essentially you want to do those as well every day. These are the daily things. So, and the cool thing about that is if you want to look up your dailies, so what do I actually do when I play Onmyoji? You come here and it shows you all the daily things, right? So for instance, I've already done the demon encounter. It'll pull up a map, and essentially you click this 4 times, it'll unlock 4 different options. Sometimes they're boss fights. So like this one right here is a boss fight, so we can do that just to show you. Again, when you open Onmyoji, this is going to be kind of like your characters, all that good stuff. Everything's fine. I'll just swap that because I like more AoE on these. They're not hard, so it's better to just have the damage going on. Like I said, sorry it's a little laggy, but either way. So, boom. You get characters. They get strong enough. They'll just one-shot shit. There is stuff that isn't one-shottable though, and that's later on, like heavier stuff. This is just a world boss. It's kind of random, so not that big of a deal. So we're not really too worried about it. Okay. All right, so either way, you finish the event, blah, blah, blah. Okay, done. Cool. Now, the cool thing about this is when you click this, there's going to be a boss button, and sometimes it'll spawn a big boss on the map, and you can click on it and go in and do the event. I've already done it, so I don't think it'll pop back up for me, but either way, you would just basically keep going in here, because sometimes it doesn't spawn right away. So you have to kind of keep checking, so you can just keep clicking it, and then bam, go. But once you fight it, you get those specialized soul jades. Now, on the topic of soul jades, or souls or whatever, I'm playing too much Naraka. You essentially can make soul profiles, all that kind of stuff. This is really confusing. I wouldn't even worry about this right now. What you kind of want to do is find sets. So when you look at this, the 2-piece set would give me, 15% hit effect, right? And then the 4-piece set grants 3 orbs at the start of battle, no matter what, right? Then you go to Fortune Cat. Again, defense bonus, 30%, pretty damn huge. Again, started off with a 4 set. If I had 4 of these and 2 of the other ones, then I would get the 4-piece for this, which would grant me 50% gaining two orbs at the start of a turn. So really important for your pullers or your starters, all that kind of stuff. Again, you want to evolve your characters as soon as you can. But say we want to look at the different ones. There's a bunch of different, and these are all the set bonuses. So there's a lot to do, but essentially you want to be looking at the 2 set bonus, the 4 set bonus, choosing what is best for your characters. There are some that are specifically for PvE, so you do kind of want to think about that as well. But more or less, you just read over these. There's a lot of them, but essentially you kind of find out again on that list for the. If you really want to be specific, go to that spreadsheet, go down to the build for the character, and it'll tell you what these are, and the names are right here: Tomb Guard, Shadow, whatever that is, Claws, all that kind of stuff. And you generally just kind of go by that. That's how you're going to run it. You're going to just constantly work through that. And you're going to always just try to work to enhance them. I can't enhance them anywhere. There's a button here that usually says enhance. Which would basically allow you to get better stats on these. Now, they do run random stats. So, I will say, if you go to like this and you pick like a 0 and you click enhance, you can actually, so let's just say, we'll do this for instance. Gluttony Ghoul is something you can actually feed things to, but I don't really want to feed anything to it, but you would add these to it, and then you would basically add it, and it would enhance it, and then you have a chance to get stats at every certain breakpoint. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but that's what I would kind of recommend. You just go in there. Your Gluttony Ghoul, you can make settings on him as well, eating habits, and I basically have him to eat almost everything, except for the really good 6 Soul Jades. And then I have him eat them as fast as possible, right? So I can go feed now. Boom. He eats all of them. Boom. And now when I go into him, he has, a lot more. So kind of keeps everything in check for you. One thing, too, to note is that you can like these characters if you want them to be on top of your list. So if you want them to be up here, they will show up. When you do promote, so say that exchange thing I was talking about, you can go in here. You can click one of those amulets, and then you can click a character to swap them with, and it will take them from, say, like a level, I don't know, you could do it like a level 2. It would swap level 40 for level 20 and swap all the Soul Jades. So that is something you can do if you want to. It makes it easy to kind of get characters leveled up. So one of the characters that I would recommend trying to get early on that's really easy to get a good puller so that you get faster if you're going to be doing duels and stuff would be this character. Specifically, this character is really solid because they give you they get you a huge acceler buff right off the bat. So essentially it pulls the bar 30%, so it gives you a chance to win in some duels. Duels are pretty rough. There's a lot of characters that are very specific that are good. You're going to run into dueling being very kind of annoying probably early on until you get a little bit of build going. But you can look up like builds of what's good and what's not. More or less, you need a solid DPS. You need a puller that's the most important is just speed. So when I come to the Shikigami, my puller is Void Minreki, and her speed is the highest speed on the team by far, because speed determines the turn order. So if someone has higher speed than me, they beat me to it, and then I don't get the pull order. So this ability right here does that thing where it pulls that bar, so my characters go first or faster in the order. If you don't get this off first, a lot of times it means you lose the duel. So I could kind of showcase that, I guess. But first, yeah, actually I'll just showcase that right now. Let's see if the duels are still open. I think duels are fine. Yeah, okay. So keep in mind, I'm not the best dueler. I don't have the craziest duel setup right now, but let's just do one. All right, so once you get to a high enough, you won't have to draft right off the bat. You'll get to just have your thing, and it'll be whatever. Personally, I just auto deploy. I don't really care to like min max versus one. Like you can isolate and kind of pick the best matchups. Okay, so also when you start playing for a long time, you start noticing these kind of things. Okay, so a couple characters you find out are really annoying. Like that character right there, Kododama. I have her too. She is horrible to face because she does this thing where she locks your orbs, and it's really rough. But I'm just going to show you this. We're probably going to lose this, actually. They have a Kododama and an Inkigayo. Inkigayo is kind of annoying because you can't kill them first turn usually. And they have Kodadama, which will lock down my abilities. So if I can't kill them first turn or I can't kill Kodadama fast, it usually is pretty rough. Okay, so on bottom right there, you'll see the pull order, which is right here. Okay, actually, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so we do this. We're going to do that. Okay, so we're essentially, this guy is the one creating the barrier. So we kind of want to reduce his speed, all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to keep slapping him. Although his ability stops from doing lots of damage unless it's AoE. So either way, she's going to pull orbs. I'm just running through this real quick. I don't think we're going to win this, honestly. The build he has is kind of freaking... That's not what I wanted to do, and that actually fucks me pretty hard. So because this thing's super laggy, it's kind of fucking me up. But because he would have pulled too. He's a puller as well. Okay, so here's what I was talking about, where the orbs kind of get screwed up. Okay. Again, not gonna be good. Okay, I actually think there's no chance of winning this. I'm just gonna leave this and show you a different one. Because I fucked up with the double clicking. The pull order should have been, I should have been first pull order. I should have gotten all my attacks off and then we would have had a chance to win maybe. But it didn't happen because I double clicked because this thing is laggy as fuck. So, bear with me. Okay. I mean, these guys have more of an average lineup. This guy's really popular, this little fox guy, because he does that little shield thing, and so basically it blocks all single attack abilities, and so it's really good for a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily block the ability per se. What it blocks is like single target to a certain extent. Okay. Hopefully they don't have that fucking fuck. Oh my god. Okay, so we're getting fucked on the order again. I don't know what it is about this character that he's always so fast. I think he comes with a heavy baseline speed, but either way. So their little wing chick over here basically made this area. It basically gives them a buff. It's how she provides them orbs. Okay. So they created that. Alright, we are going to try and maybe... Okay, again, you always go for this guy first. We're gonna fuck him up a little bit. I'm still not sure. Okay, so we gotta be very careful here. The reason I'm able to do these lightning attacks is because of one of my characters. Okay, this is still not good because the problem is they're killing my puller, which is really bad. Ooh. Okay. So this guy right here is essentially the one we're going to be relying on to hopefully kill this guy. If we can kill this guy, it's doable. If we can't kill him, it's not doable. Yep. This is a rough one then. Okay. So the fox chick basically gets multiple attacks per turn, which is rough. Although I do think we can kill him. Oh. Okay, we broke his shield. Alright, we're gonna put up a protect. Your Onmyoji also gets skills, which is like this guy right here. He's basically like you, quote unquote, like in the game. Okay, so hopefully we can just kill this guy, break his shield. Oh my god, he's so tanky right now. He's not taking damage for some reason. I don't know why he's not taking damage. But again, there's multiple different characters. They all do different things. His whole team's actually not that crazy. The one that's actually crazy is this chick. But this one Shikigami basically won the game for him, more or less. So it's one of those things where, like, if you get one good Shikigami, you can kind of win a lot of it. We're just going to bow out here because there's no point. But this is what you would do, right? Kind of sucks that I'm a little bit high elo because I can't really show easy matches. Oh, actually, I got a good way to show you, though. So there are these things. So that's dueling, right? So that's actually a person's actively on the computer playing against you. But there are these things when you go into explore. Number one, this is like where your storyline is going to be. All this stuff will unlock. You have to kind of go through the main story to kind of understand this stuff anyway. But all this stuff will pop up eventually for you. All these little things will unlock and you'll be able to do them. These are going to be your things that you farm daily. So one thing I can show you, though, is actually realm raids. This is a character that is not online. So say we just refresh, get a new board. These are characters that line up a defense and you just kind of fight them. But I can use them at, it acts the same as a duel, except for they're not there. It's auto-played on their side, right? Give them a like, because why not, right? Okay, so this is our board right now. We're going to do this. We're not going to auto it, because I just want to show you how it plays out. But essentially, you're going to pick, like, their character. This is a realm raid, so you would do these to get these coins. You can use the coins to actually essentially get stuff going. Like, you can buy things from the shop, which I'll show you here in a second. But say you want to always kind of put this on there. Puller. Boom. Get orbs going. Okay, this character, again, he's a puller, so you're going to get him to sit up. He makes them take reduced damage, do more damage, all that kind of stuff. Boom, we're going to do this. Kind of want to kill the shield guy. Doesn't really matter. This isn't really a tutorial. Okay, this guy Ashura is probably one of the best in terms of, like, damage, but God, he's AIDS. When he doesn't have enough orbs, he actually freaks out, goes insane, and then attacks your teammates. So he's good in like farming situations, but pretty rough in arenas if he doesn't get the skills that he needs or the orbs that he needs. Okay. So again, that's one of those things. Easy to follow. You essentially just duel, make the best comp you can, put the best Shikigami together that you can, and you go from there. So now when we're thinking about progressing your character, the one thing you really want to kind of be looking at is your dailies, right? So you want to make sure anything that comes on this little board, you're trying to get to and do. Don't necessarily need to do the duels as much. You just need to get those kind of knocked out if you can. But you need to join a guild right off the bat because you can go. It provides you a lot of benefits. So not only does a guild provide you with, buffs and stuff like that, you also get this thing called a realm. And the realm is where you'll get to like get free AFK XP. You'll put your Shikigami in here. I put the Darumas in there. And essentially, they will get experience from whatever card you have up. So these guys right now, because I have a level 4, are getting 2,000 EXP per hour. So pretty solid. You get different buffs and all that kind of stuff from the different ones you get. Also, your friends can come here and put their Shikigami in here. You collect the XP, they gain XP, bam, they're leveling up, right? So, and then also stores EXP in this little thing, and then stores food, which is really good because this gives you the ability to play. So if you don't have these, you can't do activities, basically. So you always want to keep this active, empty it as much as you can. You can level these up with those coins from those realm raids that I was talking about. So that is one of those things. I don't really care. I have enough anyway because I play through all the events. You get a lot of free ones. The cool thing is, when you do, you can entrust a thing to like a buddy or a friend on your friends list, and you can put your Shikigami in here. Now, they all look the same, but one of these is mine. And it essentially gets EXP based off of their whatever realm card they have up, right? So, same kind of thing. Really good. You want to get a guild because it provides you that bonus. Not only that, it allows you to do other things. So when you're in a guild, you get to do the hunt, which is what we did, what we can do right now. I'm not going. Okay, well, we missed it anyway. But essentially, you would come in here and you would fight this, and you would go through as many rounds as you could, and you would get bonuses or rewards based off that. Again, another resource farm that's super nice. Then you can wish for different icons as well. So like this one, say if you want shards for a certain Shikigami, you can kind of do that. You can kind of donate. You can ask for one, like make a wish. Ask for which one you want. I have 2 right now that I'm asking for. boom, all that good stuff, and then people will fulfill them over time, right? So it's one of those things. There is also realm raids. Again, this is unlocked by being in a guild, so you can fight um, guild ones as well. Although a lot of times these are like the best in the guilds that you'll see up top. You can kind of scroll down if you want the weaklings a little bit, and pick on little weaker lineups, right? So not necessarily ideal. You want the ones with a lot of coins because you can generally get a lot of stuff, a lot more rewards. Now, again, we did some activities, and now we basically have some rewards to claim. So here's one thing you want to be paying attention to. You always want to claim your rewards because they do reset, so you don't want that. So you claim it, it gives you EXP. It would line up all these rewards and kind of knock them out as you go based on the EXP you had. There's monthly ones. These are also the things you will be wanting to do. So when I look at quests, I do all of these things on here until they all say completed on like pretty much everything. Certain ones you can't complete, but I would try to complete all of them. If they keep repeating, so one for instance is if you do Evo zones, you can continuously do it and it will always reset constantly. So you can constantly farm it. But you want it to get to a point to where it says completed. So like one demon encounter, you can only do one of those a day. So you want to do that and then it'll complete it. This is like your to-do list for EXP and being efficient. So if you really want to be the best of the best, this is kind of what you want to be looking at. Is keeping up with all this stuff daily. This is kind of what your to-do list is. Monthly, again, kind of want to be looking at this. These are things that are a little bit less like controllable, like getting the R rarity or higher. Like obviously that's pretty easy, but you know, same thing. Kraken, and these are all special bosses you can get through the pack shards. When you go into that little explore map, which I can show you, it essentially gives you more dailies to do, and one of them is a Kraken. Nen is like a rare spawn, basically. When you do enough, say, zones or exploration zones, you will actually pull it. This guy will be like a rare spawn from that, and he'll pop up on the side of your screen. You'll be able to fight him. Or you can join people. So, if you find the world, let's see. Damn, no one's really gotten anything pulled yet. Oh, yeah. Okay, so like this. Evo Spirit Lightning 10, blah, blah, blah. It pops up, it's a rare. When you do enough Orochis, you can do Ultimate Orochi. He's essentially like a really high-end boss. Uh, and you essentially just fight him for waves, but you can join other people's by doing that and requesting to join. Again, so this is your to-do list. Whenever you see the Talisman pass, the first thing I would always do every day is go here, clear out all of these if you can. If it keeps resetting, then obviously you can't redo it. Some of them have timers, like area, or not area boss, but like the demon encounter only happens at like, I don't know, I think it's like 7 p.m. EST is when it starts, and then you can do it to like 10 p.m. EST or something like that. So just look at the time, it does tell you. All right, so Talisman Pass though, also, if you do, this is the one thing I would invest in every time. There's Deluxe Plain. You can essentially go through these and you can pick out what you want to do. Essentially what this does for you is this gives you free rewards. You can pick any of these rewards when you get this spot. And you see you get a lot less than these. But either way, you still get both if you buy the pass. Now, I think this ends up being somewhere along the lines of like, Deluxe is like, I want to say it's like $10 or something like that. I think it's like $10 literally for a month. But the cool thing is the first pass you finish, you actually get a 20% discount on the next month's pass. So again, drops it down a little bit for you, makes it a little bit more cost efficient. So a little bit better way to do things, makes it a little bit easier. And also, like we've talked about before, skill Darumas, really important, gets you everything you need. So this is basically where you'll rack up a lot of rewards because every one of these boxes you can get the caviar looking thing. Essentially, that's how you play the game. If you want soul jades to buy stuff from the shop, if you want your shards, these help you level up your characters. So this is how you like raise their level manually. So this is very important, especially early on. It's also one of the most efficient ways to get rewards later on, right? Next, we'll go to the shop. You just click that little cat. Shows you any of the exclusive details that they have, whatever. You can buy things. This little guy right here, this little homie, is essentially a little secret shop. And he only shows up every now and then. The more you buy from him, the more rewards you can get. It kind of shows you what you get from it as you go. Again, Daruma shards pop up. Daruma shard was here. I bought it. because I had it. So Soul Jades, this is like IRL currency, so you don't need to spend this. I wouldn't spend this except for on that pass. But yeah, again, you can buy these with the jade that you get from just playing the game, all that kind of stuff. So I would save a lot of that up. But either way, he's the secret shop. I'll kind of run you through these. You can kind of go through consignment. Wouldn't even really worry about it. It's essentially like special skins, but there's like a weird bidding system they've added to the game, kind of like this guy right here. Susanoo Deluxe, he essentially allows you to dye the normal, like this skin on that character. Nothing too crazy. You can buy shards, all that kind of stuff. They do cost different currency. Again, you kind of have to buy it. You have to buy that currency and then get that. Again, you can buy it right here. It shows you how to get it, all that kind of stuff. It's IRL currency, so do with that what you will. I don't necessarily care. Say you want to buy illustrations. You can come in here and you can spend your soul jades. Now, the cool thing is they're fairly cheap. Like, you can get 100 jade in like a day. I get like 300, 400 a day. Easy, and those events make it way easier. So you can pick out anyone that you like, and you can go, oh, cool, I want to buy this, and it'll be one of those loading screens as you load into different things. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of get the stuff that maybe you think is cool without paying for it. So it's kind of nice. Next is Mystics. You're essentially, this is how you get soul jades. So you can click this and you can do like random ones. So say if I pop this, put 1500 in here, I'm gonna get all these different soul jades, and you can kind of pick out which ones you like. Like you'll get all of them, but these kind of essentially the normal skills. Sorry, I'm losing train of thought. You basically the plain soul boxes, you don't get a choice. It'll pick out random ones. This one right here will let you actually. Okay, well I don't have enough to show you, but you would get to pick out what you want to go for, and same thing with this one. You get to pick out which one you want. Say you want Odokuru, you could pick which slot it goes to too. So again, these are all just little details of like how to get your soul jades if you want different ones. If you're looking for specific combos, like Ghostly Songstress is really good. Again, really solid passive effect. But it is a monsters only passive, so keep that in mind. Just be careful. Sometimes because it does have a really good effect, but it doesn't work in PvP. So if you use it in a duel, it basically is non-existent except for the normal buffs, like the 8% attack, all that kind of stuff. It still works, but again, another one where you can kind of mix and match. You get to pick which one you want though. So like pick Shy Soul. It's one I need anyway. Boom, it's an attack bonus, crit. Pretty okay. You can enhance it, blah blah. Use those materials like I talked about, all that kind of stuff. So then there's the skin shop. This is probably my favorite thing. You can kind of scroll through one by one. Or you can go to the list. I kind of like doing it this way because it's like, oh man, I have this character. Okay, cool. I like it. I'm going to go through it. Boom. This is the deluxe version, like I said. You get all the gifts and stuff with it, but yeah. So either way. You can also do Shikigami Own, so it only shows the ones that you have, so you don't have to kind of go through the ones you don't. So it shows you all of the skins that are available for characters you have. So that's kind of nice. Kind of speeds it up for you. Next is like general. General shop basically is essentially where you spend your jade. You're going to get anything you need. A lot of times you're just going to be saving 1,000 jade to get the 10 pack. Because you want, I don't know, 10 packs usually have better luck for me. I don't know if that's actually statistically correct, but I feel like every 10 summons that I do gets way more lucky than the 1x1. So if you can, save up your soul jades. Don't buy 1x1, buy 10 at a time if you can. It may just be the theory, it may be 10 hat, but I would generally say I've gotten a lot better luck for that. Next is honor. Whenever you do win duels, you can actually use that honor to buy things, which is really solid. So, like, technically I could buy 2 of these right now. I don't really need to because I don't really need to summon anything right now. But you definitely always want to pick up your Daruma shard right here, the skill one. And then early on, you probably also want to be picking up these guys when you can, because it helps you kind of level up your characters and get you a little bit ahead. You can also buy skins for your Onmyoji on here, which is kind of cool. So again, I'm a cosmetic whore, so it's one of those things where I get it. Also, you kind of want to max out your friends list as fast as possible, because as you get better, as you get friends, you can just keep buying things with the friendship points. So every day you go in, you basically send hearts to your friends, they send hearts back. bam, you get all this affection, and affection can be used to buy things. Medals, this is those realm raids I just showed you. These are super important. You need 500 every week bare minimum so you can get your skill Daruma. This is the easiest way to get skill Darumas by far. You literally do realm raids, which are basically auto attack fights that you don't even have to worry about. You get a good enough build, you just kind of let it do its thing, and bam, you're good. And you buy these to get those skills. Challenge passes, you'll kind of learn about those later on, but essentially when you do wanted quests, it kind of lists out where you can fight these mobs. I can actually show you that. So when you go to Seal here, these are like your daily monsters you can fight, but say it gives you the options of where you can find them after you've found them once or twice. And challenge is one of the best ways to do it because it takes you straight to that mob more or less. So like this one has quantity of 14 per every challenge that you do, whereas usually you'd be doing Explorer, which would take a longer time. This probably takes maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. Challenge is instantly. You fight them immediately, and then you essentially kind of maybe takes like a minute or two. So it's a lot quicker, but it does cost those passes. Usually it makes this a lot easier. So good to look at. Now, for the main thing of summoning, you always want to look for events and stuff like that. Right now, a new champ just came out. It's this guy. Nothing special here. You're going to get normal summons. These are just like basically random throwaways that you're going to use as fodder probably. Like use them to essentially build up the characters. You're also going to do things like this, which is the mystery summons. So when you get those 10 packs that I was talking about, this is where you summon, boom, you get them, you summon, call it a day. Jade, you can buy Soul Jade, like literally singulars with Soul Jade. It's not worth, I don't think. Again, I don't have the math on it, but I really don't think it's worth. Then you can also do, this is augmented reality. It literally will make your camera pan, and you can literally like, you can pick a spot to where you put the summoning circle, and then you could literally just like look for the creature around you on your camera, and it like pops up in IRL, quote unquote, right? So kind of interesting. Nothing too crazy, but there's also a shrine over here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to click it on here, dude. This thing's fucking AIDS. I don't know why I can't click it. Damn it. There we go. Okay, we lucked out. Okay, so here's another thing you really want to get familiar with. This kind of stuff. I already bought this. So again, another skill Daruma. These are like the hidden lifeblood of this game. You need these, so get them when you can. But what you do is you actually release things, and you get a set amount of resources for releasing them. Granted, SRs are probably like way more worth because you get like hundreds per. So either way, you would exchange those and then get enough to buy those things and go from there. What else is there? I think that's pretty much the main stuff. That's generally how you're going to build up your account. You obviously want to go into friends, and you want to add all of them, and then you go here. You can add them. You can send them like, I don't know, send them an actual heart, whatever you want to send them, doesn't really matter. Boom. Same thing, you would just kind of keep spamming that through. You want to get as many friends as you can, because every day you do the friendship points, claim all, boom, and it sends them back automatically as well when you claim it. So either way, but it gives you those points I was talking about for the shop. So that is pretty much that. What else do we have that I can think about? Oh, one thing that's kind of interesting. Say you want to change your stuff here. You would essentially just put this in, and you can change your frames and all that kind of stuff pretty easily. You can also set some of these to rotate. And if you do that, you can get it to do this. So it'll swap through all of these ones I have selected. You get a lot of these frames from events and stuff like that as well. So just keep that in mind. You generally would get these from doing events. Like I said, that one in here. Where's it at? There we go. There's actually one in this shop currently for this market. I can't do it yet because it's not locked. But say when we do get it, it'll be this one. So it's another banner. They're just cool. They look cool. And it's just fun to collect them. But yeah, so essentially that's pretty much it for that. And I think that's pretty much it. You're going to want to summon whenever you can, get the best Shikigami you can. You kind of want to pick some characters to build up, and what you're going to do is you're going to essentially going to promote them. You know, you would feed Daruma to this guy until he was leveled up. Boom, you would just keep feeding until he's like level 20. Once he hits level 20, you're going to basically do a thing called promo him. So let me see if I have any level 20s. Oh, like these guys are max. So what you would do now is you would feed him level 1s or whatever, the previous thing, and then he would go up to 3 little little things. So that's what it would essentially do for you. It would give you basically three little teardrops, and that would allow you to more or less get him to go to the next tier. And then when you get him to tier 3, you would level him up again, then feed him level 3s, and then he would go to tier 4. So it's basically you just constantly go and feed them and feed them, eventually get up to higher tiers, and then eventually get to, you know, high, like tier 6, which is the highest. Then you're going to max out their skills. So again, feed them those skill Darumas. They give you big differences. They change everything about the game. So boom. And yeah, so essentially that's kind of it. The last thing I guess we could go over is you want to essentially kind of get the best stats for your character that you can. And a lot of times people are pretty cool about it. They show you actually in here a lot of times. So for PvP, Azure, FC, Marrow, they want you to do speed and resistance or HP. So it kind of gives you like an easy access if you don't want to pull up the spreadsheet of what people think. They also usually will tell you if the character's shit or not. So that's one of those things. But or they'll just do thirst comments like let's see. I think this guy has a lot of thirsty comments. Yeah, kiss. I don't know. Either way, people would just kind of make their statements, but a lot of times the best comments are usually put up here. So again, Virgin Cat, Azerbaijan, speed attack or HP crit. Again, they kind of just give you the build off of the spreadsheet without having to go over there. So if you don't really want to put that much effort into it, that's an easy way to get to it. But that is pretty much it. That's gonna be it for Onmyoji. I'm gonna actually hop over to, I believe, a different game now, show that off a little bit, and then kind of go from there. But either way, if you have any questions about Onmyoji, just let me know. Please leave a comment down below. And yeah, if you want to add me on here, I can help you out. If you message me in game, I can help you out. I'm usually AFKing on the game while watching Twitch or YouTube or stuff like that while I'm at work, so I can get back to you on that. Yeah, but it's just SticksForever33 if you want to add me on the game, and I can help you out if you ever need it. So that will be that video. I appreciate it. Much love. Bye. And we will go on to the next one. All right. So that's Onmyoji for us, I think. I think we're done there. That at least gives people a good idea. I know a lot of times when I was looking for guides, I was having a lot of issues with the whole process of getting any sort of resources for Onmyoji that weren't like super outdated or older or just very